In the previous video, we finished working on our home screen. We had created our to-do tab. We were adding them, updating them, and deleting them. So in this video, we're gonna work on the auth screen, right? So we're gonna deal with logging in and registering our users. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna navigate to views folder and open auth, then auth.py. Right. So here, right, we previously created this function, right? So whenever we were just clicking it, we were switching screens. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put in the logic that we're gonna check the user in our database. Then if it's present and if the password and the username is correct, we're gonna be redirected to the home screen, and our session.json file is going to be updated, right? So what we need to do first is working on the register screen, register function, I mean. Then we're gonna work on this login function. So right here, I'm just gonna take this function here and paste it at the bottom. I'm gonna paste it one more time, then change this one to register. Then I'm gonna get rid of this. Let me just put pass for now. So I'm gonna open auth.kv, then scroll to the bottom. So this needs to be register. So down here we have password 2, then password, then username. Okay, so let's go back to auth.py. So down here we're gonna say username is equals to self.ids.username.text. So let me duplicate this. So this is going to be password, and this is going to be password 2. So what we're gonna do here, let me just put a lot of space between here, underneath here. Okay, so here I'm gonna say if username is equals to empty, or password is equals to empty, or password 2 is empty. So here I'm gonna say self dot, let me just check something here. Okay, so our error is just error. Okay, so self.ids.error.text. So this is going to be, let's just say, fill in or required fields. So this should be an R. Okay, let me duplicate this. So this is going to be color, and this is going to be red. Right. So let me just okay, let's just put some more stuff in here before we run anything. So then here I'm gonna say else. Then so here let me just put a nested if in here. So I'm gonna say if length, so length of password is less than 8. So I'm gonna copy this, Then I'm gonna say password must be 8 characters or more. Must be, let's just say it must be at least 8 characters long, so that we don't have to have text running outside the boundaries of our mobile screen. So I'm just gonna say password must be at least 8 characters long. You can just get rid of this long and just leave it like this. Okay, and underneath here I'm gonna say else. I'm gonna say if password is not equal to password 2. So I'm gonna paste these again, keep them inside, and this is going to be passwords do not match, right? So then here when I say else, so let's say if our username is populated and our password is more than 8 characters and our password is the same as our password 2, then we're gonna start adding information inside our database. So here I'm gonna say on is equals to SQLite 3 dot connect. So we name the database okay, there it is. So to do dot db, then here I'm gonna say cursor is equals to con dot cursor like this. Then here I'm gonna say try. So then I'm gonna say SQL. Let me just scroll upwards. Okay, is equal to select one from, so this should be in small caps, users where username is equal to question mark, and we're gonna limit the result to 1. So what we're trying to do here is we're gonna check if our username is in our database. And if it's not in our database, then it's gonna say if it's in our database, it's gonna say user already taken, but if it's not, then it's gonna proceed with adding the username inside our database. Then here I'm gonna say cursor dot execute SQL comma, so I'm gonna add a tuple here, and I'm gonna say username just like this. So the result, let's just call it result. So result is going to be cursor dot fetch 1. So we're gonna say if result, so that is if we have something in our result variable, right? So we're gonna say if result, we're gonna say self dot ideas dot error. I believe I still have these copied here, so let me get rid of this and use. Okay, so this here is going to be username already exists. and the color is going to be red. Then else. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna say password. So let's say the underscore at the end here is equals to hash lab. So we need to import this. Okay, so this is actually dot SHA-256. So in here I'm gonna say password dot encode in a dot x digest. So what we're gonna do here is hash our password so that whenever excuse me, so that whenever someone accesses our database and see our passwords, but they won't be able to decode them. So whenever we use hashlib, right, you can't really, I don't know if you can, but it will be difficult for you to reverse the hash password. So whenever someone wants to access the app, right, they will need to enter the correct password. Then that correct password will be hashed. Then we're gonna match the result with the hashed password in our database. So that's the only way one can access our system. So right here, after we've done hashing the password that we get from our input fields, right, we're gonna say here password final is equals to password. So this is equal to the password that we just hashed. So then we're gonna, let me just copy these here and paste them underneath here. So inside here, I'm gonna add another try block. So here I'm gonna try SQL is equals to insert into users. So we're gonna insert username and password. So this should be a comma here, like this. Then our values. So we're gonna put 2 question marks here. Then we're gonna return returning ID, just like this. So underneath that, we're gonna say values. So this is going to be a list. So we're gonna say username and our password final. Right. Then we're gonna say cursor.execute. So we're gonna execute our SQL and our values. Then we're gonna say con.commit. Then our con.close. So we're gonna close our connection to the database, just like this. So up to here, like our database already been updated. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna update our session.json file here, so that whenever we register someone, we already log them in inside our system, right? So now we need to update excuse me. So we're gonna update this user ID and the username here. So let's go back to auth.py. So we're gonna say session file is equals to session.json. Then I'm gonna say with open session file, comma. So here we need to put a W. So since we're gonna be writing information to our JSON.file, then okay, you need to say else file. Then JSON dot dump. So we need to okay. It seems as if you already imported our JSON. So what are we dumping inside here? So let me just do this. Let's say user underscore ID. So we're gonna be adding a user ID. Then I'm gonna format. Then we're gonna be dumping username. So we're gonna be adding username here. Then this is going to be username. Okay. So we forgot something here. So here we're gonna say user ID is equal to cursor dot fetch one. So remember, SQL syntax, right? We were returning this ID, so now we just want to fetch this ID from our cursor. Then we're gonna put it inside this user ID. So here I'm gonna say fetch 1, then at index 0. So this is going to get our ID that's being returned, right? Then we're gonna store it in this user ID, and that's the user ID we're gonna put on inside our JSON or session.json file. Okay. Now we need to switch our screen. So let me just here it is. Okay, let me paste it up here. And let me create some space here so that it looks okay. So right here I'm gonna say except exception as error. Okay, and I'm gonna say connect. So let me just open home.py file, and let me just look for this. Okay, it's fine. We didn't use it inside the home.py file, so let me just do this manually. So here I'm gonna say connect is equals to warning pop-up. Let me just check if we have this warning pop-up inside our widgets. Pop-ups. Okay, we have it here. So here I'm gonna say connect dot title is equal to, so let me just import this. Connect dot open. Then here I'm gonna say finally. So what we're just gonna do here is just gonna close our database, our connection to the database. So even if we add something or we don't add something and we get an error, at the end of it we're just gonna close the connection to the database. So here we're gonna say if, then I'm gonna say con dot close, just like this. So I'm just gonna copy this, then tab these, shift tab this. Okay, then this should be fine. So with this, right, our register function is already done. So let me just run this and see if everything is working properly. Okay, so username, they just say, let me just put my name here. Password, I'm just gonna put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1. Okay. Then I'm gonna register here. Okay, so our register function works properly. So if you go back to our text editor and click here, you see our username has been updated to Tanaka and user ID is 1. So this is our first user inside our database. So now we need to work on updating our own logging in. So let me just rerun this. Oh, so we need to log out here. Are you sure you want to log out? Yes. So going back to auth.py, let me just scroll upwards here. Okay. So let me just create some space here. Then on top here, I'm gonna say username is equals to self dot. We call this one login username. So login underscore username dot text. Then the other one was password. Sorry about that. So this one is going to be password, and this is going to be login password. So we can just copy most of the stuff inside our register function, and we're just gonna edit out some stuff. So I'm just gonna copy this here, then let me get rid of this and paste it down here. Okay, so we need to get rid of this password too. We need to get rid of this. Okay, shift tab this. So we need to change this here. So we're gonna say I'm gonna get rid of this one and I say select star. I'm gonna select all from users where username. Then we need to get rid of this limit here, limit 1 here, right? Then I'm gonna say if result, if out is none, then this gonna say invalid credentials. So this here is gonna remain the same. So what we're gonna do is we need to get rid of everything here, and we're just gonna redo it. We might need this hash here, so let's just copy. We just select everything from here to here. Okay. Let's say user ID is equal to result. I believe it's index 2, so this should be result at index 2. So let's duplicate this, and this should be 0, and this should be, let's just say, password in db. So password underscore in database, just like this. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say if password in db is equals to password final, then we're gonna say let me just copy this here. Okay, and get rid of this. Then here I'm gonna say else, excuse me. So let's copy these. So this here can just remain as invalid credentials. So we're not gonna need this. Okay, looking okay. So let's just run it and test it out. And if you have any errors, then we're just gonna fix them. Okay, so our username was just Tanaka, and our password was 1234567 8. Okay. So here we say, oh, there's no object login username. So let's go to auth.kv. So this is the register screen. So this says you login username. Let me just rerun this. Let me just control Z this and see if I made a typo or what. Login. Okay. So let's rerun this. What object has no attribute login username? Okay, so let me just fix these. Then we're gonna look for why we seem not to have login username set auth, but we have it KV file. So this is going to be login for error. Let's go back to auth.kv. So we only have one on press login. Okay, here we didn't say self.ids, so we need to edit here and here. So let's rerun this. So this should work now. Okay, So now our login function works and our register function works. So I'm just gonna end this tutorial here. And if you like the video, please like and share and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you in the next one.